Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some cute character boxes to share with you guys, and these are going to be perfect for Valentine's Day or really for any occasion. But before we get started, you do need to grab these free SVG files from my blog at svgnation.com, and you're going to find a link for them in the video description, so you can just click there. And once you upload that to Cricut Design Space, go ahead and add it to your canvas. Okay, I'm just going to zoom out on this so that way you can see everything in the window a little easier. Okay, so once you have that there, you do need to start by ungrouping all of your layers. So with everything selected, if it wasn't already selected, all you have to do is click on it to select it. You're going to ungroup those. And there's just a few modifications that need made before we cut these. So we're going to start up here with the gnome. If you see there's a group well, first we need to start by ungrouping the gnome. So go ahead and hit ungroup. And then if you see right here, there's this group of the lines right here. Go ahead and click on that full group. And you're going to need to change the operation from cut to score. And then with this selected, hold down shift while you also select the box layer, which is going to be this white layer right here. So with both of those selected, you're going to attach those score lines to your box layer. And all those other pieces are still there. It just brought this in front of them since we made a change to it. But that's okay. When we go to cut it, it doesn't matter. And we're going to do the same thing with the owl. So go ahead and click on your owl and ungroup those layers. And then you want to find that group of the score lines and change those to score. And if you guys are not using a scoring tool right now, then just make sure you delete this group of lines for each character instead of changing them to score lines. That way you don't have random cuts on your paper. And then we're just going to hold down shift while we select our box layer with those, and we're going to attach those. And we're just going to repeat this one more time for the frog. So start with ungrouping those, and then find your group of lines, change those to score, find your box layer, hold down shift to select all of those together and attach. And those are all the changes that you need to make before cutting these. If you wanted to resize them, you can resize them. If you want to change the handles of the boxes because you want the handles to match the base of the boxes, you can do that. But that's about it. Just when resizing them, just make sure you select all of the layers because you want to resize all those together. And all you're going to do is drag on this to resize it, just keeping in mind the size of your paper. So just keep it within those, and you can make it smaller, larger, either way. I just want to cut them the size that they already are, so I'm going to go back to that. Okay, so when you have everything ready, go ahead and click on Make It. And you're just going to cut these on your standard mat. So we're just going to confirm that. And you do want to make sure that you do see the score lines on top of your box layers. If you don't see them there, or if they're on a different mat, then that's because you didn't attach the score lines to your box. So you need to go back to your canvas and do that. So we'll just check all of those to make sure that they're all on there and it looks good. So go ahead and add the scoring tool to your Cricut machine and go ahead and cut all your pieces, and then we'll begin to assemble them. So once you have everything cut out, go ahead and start by lining up your pieces. This way, when you glue it together, you don't glue anything on backwards. And the gnome is assembled slightly different than the other two. So for the gnome, you want to grab the base of your box, and then you're going to glue the red layer down first to your box, and then you'll glue the tan layer on next, and then your pink layer on top. And you're going to repeat this for both sides of the box. And again, just make sure that you line the pieces up before you glue them so that you don't add glue to the wrong side. And this is going to be something you want to do for also the owl and the frog box. And then once everything is glued down, make sure that you press it down really well. And if you have a brayer tool, this is really going to help to flatten the cardstock layers together. So go ahead and use this. And then you're going to fold on all of the score lines. And if you didn't use a scoring tool, then you'll just need to fold each piece in to create a box shape. And then also fold it so you have tab pieces on each of the box sides. And then you're just going to glue the tabs to the front and back of your box. And I prefer using hot glue for this part because it holds quicker, but you're not going to have the flexibility to move it around if you glue it on Cricut. So you may just want to stick with the regular glue. So just whatever glue you prefer. And then once all of your 4 tab pieces are glued on, you should have a box shape. And then all you need to do is add the handle And for the handle, just measure the height that you want it. That way you know how far to glue it down. Or you can leave the handle off if you don't want it. And then once it's dry, you're just going to fill it with a sweet treat or a small gift. And then to assemble the owl box, it's easiest to start with gluing the white layer on top of your black layer. And then you're going to glue these to your box. And you need to make sure that the faces line up with the cutouts. But also make sure that you keep this above the fold line. So it may help to kind of fold on the score lines before gluing this down. So with the owl box, you're actually going to glue the layer to the inside of the box. Unlike with the gnome where we glued the layers to the outside of the box. So it's just a little bit different. But once you've got the faces glued on, then go ahead and glue the beak to each side of the box. And then make sure everything is pressed down really well. And then go ahead and fold on all of your score lines and assemble the box by gluing all 4 tabs to the front and back of your box. And then once it's assembled, you're just going to add your handle if you're using it. And then glue the hearts to the front of your box. And just keep in mind not to go too low with the hearts because you don't want them to bend when you stand the box up. And then you're just going to add a small gift and it's ready to go. And then with the frog, you're going to assemble this just as you did with the owl, where the layers are glued to the inside of the box. But first, start by assembling the frog by gluing the black layer to the red layer. And then you're going to add the white layer on top, and then you're going to add the pink layer on top of that. And go ahead and do this for both sides. But with the frog, it's very important to make sure you line these up with the box before gluing to make sure that you have everything turned right. You want to make sure that all of those heart cutouts are lined up. So go ahead and line all of this up before you start gluing any of the pieces. And then once you have your frog heads assembled, glue them to the base of your box. And then you're going to fold on all the score lines and then glue the tabs to the front and back of your box. And then if you're using the handle, go ahead and add that and add a fun surprise for the inside of your box. So the hearts on these make these really cute for Valentine's Day, but these boxes really would be cute for any occasion. So you really could use these for party favors or gifts any time of the year. But if you guys do have any questions on how to put these together, then make sure to leave those in the comments and I will answer them there. Or if you have a specific request for a Valentine's Day craft, you can leave that in the comments and I will do my best to get to it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.